Yeah, so we are moving out here potentially. First one is going to be Gorge. We're going to be seeing Abbasid versus Chinese, and Abbasid for Puppypaw. I've been talking about this quite a lot, like a couple months back, but I feel like Wham and Puppypaw are just about like some of the best Abbasid players that there are, like on the high ladder. Like they're really good at making a lot of archers, getting composite bows in, and using excellent timing pushes there with all of those upgrades that come in up against the Chinese. So it's going to be interesting, but it looks like we're going to be moving into our game number one of our first set of the Sunday in just a little bit.
That's right. It's time to kick off a wonderful Sunday in style. EGC Masters Winters here in the upper bracket semi-finals. No eliminations on the line, but an easy ticket almost punched all the way towards the upper end of the brackets on offer here. Puppypaw versus Anotand. Really the battles of the new guard, I like to call them, right? And then later we're going to be seeing Marine Law versus Beastie. These are the guys that have been there since the very beginning. For Puppypaw and Anotand, they're still chasing that first S-tier tournament title, at least in 1v1s.
Look at what Anatand's doing here. We're going to be seeing Chinese double scout opening. This is a really interesting play. I've first seen this from Core. I've actually first seen this from Core. In the current Pro Scout meta, they can only do normal Chinese scouts that already get a big bonus to their vision. They get if we can take a look just at the vision right now that Anatand has on these scouts, it is massive just how much vision these scouts have. And only will you find a lot of baseline, you're going to deny your opponent a lot of game, which already so the way that he's going right now, he's already just trailing one of Anatand's scouts.
And well, are you robot mode? I think you might be. All right, go for the reconnect. So hopefully I'm not muffled into robo mode too. I mean, the interesting thing about this is that Crackly was saying that this is a strategy that really began with Core, but Anotand has been there the whole time as well. Like, this is the guy that I still remember doing it in the very early days. I think him and Core have probably been the two most consistent people believing in the 2-scout opener. It definitely has a lot of value on Gorge in particular. I think Anotand's one of the people that quickly mastered this. Louis was fairly good at it at a time as well, of just cycling in and ending up quite frequently with 70-75% of the sheep.
Yeah, definitely a lot of sheep coming in here for him. I'm not a robot anymore.
Yeah, I mean, for me, you weren't before, which makes me think maybe you are actually secretly Skynet. We'll find out. Milliwing is going to be coming in, so Puppypaw doesn't want to turn this into a greed race. I think one thing to keep in mind is like this matchup used to feel pretty good for China back in the TC boom, but now I feel as if Abba is behind, right, with us being in a Pro Scouts meta. Have we got Crackety?
I hope it's working now. Hope it's better.
All right, fingers crossed. I like how the technical issue started as soon as we got into game. Like, pre-game waffling, absolutely fine. All right, Crackety's going to try a few things, and we'll see if we can actually solve that. But focusing on the opening here, folks, we are seeing the military wing coming in just to try and pressure a little bit onto those initial scout grabbings. Anotand, it's kind of interesting with his macro here, right? He's not full-on just naked rushing into the Pro Scouts timing here. In fact, if we check in his base, he did at least set up the mill, right? He would have the supervision. I don't think he went for an IO opener by the looks of it. I mean, there's no way you go Imperial Official opening when you go 2 scouts, right? That's pretty damn expensive. Yeah, so no Imperial Official. First one's going to be popping out now. We already have a lot of taxation sitting in that mill. You may notice he actually dragged it a little bit even further away from the TC to have it right on top of the Imperial Academy. So that should be his biggest priority. Yeah, it pays off, man. I told you, he's one of the believers. There's a lot of people right now that go, oh, why would you do this? Waste of resources. I can kind of see where they're coming from. It almost feels like this should be the meta where it matters least, right? With us having Pro Scouts in almost every game.
There's still so many sheep following that scout. It's insane.
Lord. Puppypaw, I mean, this is the thing. Puppypaw, we have a true count for him, right? Because he would have started on berries, presumably. I don't think he got much.
Yeah, he can't have gotten a lot. Like, maybe 5-6 sheep underneath his TC.
That's worrisome as well. Like I said, like this is not really a civ that plays Pro Scouts. So you're going to have to go and secure those berries. Likely we'll see him TC drop on the west side, because he's got the military wing, he can go a little bit looser, as he will getting 2 TC. He wants to be aiming for the berries, maybe get the deer shoved in. It might even then be worth walling the backside to make sure the scouts can't use the tree lines to sneak in.
Anotand. Oh, he's even going for the Song Dynasty now behind this. So Barbican of the Sun is coming in. Might be very late, though.
That's very different, actually. Wait.
Yeah, he has to cancel it. There's no way that he can get that up. Oh, I'm not even sure if he's going to be able to get that one up. It's fairly close to TC.
If he does the corner.
Angle.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting that he rushes Song here, though. Like, I would have expected just the Pro Scouts to be too valuable. There is the possibility of a TC race. I think this is the weird thing is, like, a lot of people think ambassadors are decent to ego chow a TC race with China. But every time I watch it happen, I feel like China peaks too quickly. Ambassadors, in theory, are better for economy in the true hyper late game. It just takes too long to get there.
Yeah, the main issue is that, like, when China goes to TC, it's very, very costly for them overall to keep up with the food, right?
Yeah.
Like, you invest so much food into the villagers, you gotta go for an earlier farming transition, which is very expensive. Meanwhile, Abbasid, throughout the time that they got, like, multiple TCs up, they pay a lot less food for their villagers. So, and also their farms are cheaper with the economy wing. They have a very easy time in that regard. Yeah, Anotand, he's in a bit of a weird spot right now. I would have really expected him to go Pro Scout as well. Maybe invest into just like a couple of archers to make sure that he can get the Pro Scouts in. Hasn't come in so far, and now he's in Song Dynasty.
Yeah, it's quite peculiar. I mean, the reality is 2 archers, 2 spears can't really stop you, especially with this type of spawn. You notice Anotand kind of got the dream to not worry about harassment. 1 deer left, 1 deer right. And then obviously the 2 on the north side, Puppypaw side might be a bit harder to contest, but usually you can sneak in and snatch something. We do have a delayed play into the archer racks now. Horsemen are already being queued up by Puppypaw, so he can done this in reverse to what we've seen historically with Abba, which is usually you see a lot of the horsemen, double horsemen opening, and then the TC drop afterwards to secure the map. Really didn't worry about it because I imagine Puppypaw was expecting Pro Scouts originally.
Yeah, definitely. I was really thinking that we were going to see Pro Scouts as well. Like, first you take your opponent's sheep, then you deny the deer as well with the Pro Scouts. That's not happening here. Instead, it looks like we are now seeing a commitment into Feudal Age, and with Song Dynasty, Anotand will have access to those Juganus, so a very formidable army for him that he can make here. And I mean, like Puppypaw, he was forced to build his TC next to the berries, which spawned a little bit further forward for him. Right, because he doesn't have a lot of sheep inside of his base, so if he gets denied off of berries, he's working with very limited food, so already value achieved by Anotand. Now he's got a target.
Yeah, it almost feels like this is a classic, I wanted Juji, but you banned Juji, so I'm going to make Juji happen anyway.
Juji at home.
Right? Like, I mean, it is a pretty big difference you're talking about there. I mean, you have to weigh an extra, like, 8 to 9 Juganu, technically more because the discount the age up, when you play China compared to playing Juji. But in fairness, the trade-off is I think you get a much stronger pump around 10 minutes due to all the taxation, the fact that you haven't sacrificed extra villages like you would as Juji.
Yeah, the transition into Castle Age also just comes a lot more natural with all of these extra taxes that you're getting in. Granted, you're missing out on the Meditation Garden, and on this map there are typically some really great spots for Meditation Garden. I'm looking at the generation though, and I'm thinking, yeah, there wouldn't have even been that great of a spot there.
No, it really is a coin flip on this map in particular. I remember in the early days, people thought it would be worth walking out of the corner, and they discovered, oh, yeah, the tree lines are actually just a little bit too small. It's like we're getting a little bit of harassment coming in, and it will keep Anotand at home from the time being. Anotand has a problem here, though. Puppypaw is inflating horsemen at an aggressive pace.
He is, but there are some spearmen in already, a good amount of them as well. Puppypaw, is he scaling archers as well? Because you need at least like 10 archers, I feel like. And we got +1 damage in for Anotand, while there is no pierce armor in for Puppypaw.
No,
it's not even a blacksmith.
I mean, I wondered about how Puppypaw was doing this. He just skipped archers, spearmen, and tally, went double stables. In theory, the idea is good if you cut reinforcements, right? But if you catch him like this, if you try to run straight at him, you're going to have a bad day. The double spear does show up. Double archer will at least be able to trade out well there. Juganu are going to be dove upon. But these Juganu, I mean, they turn into horse shredders when you have no undermesh. And keep in mind, Puppypaw, he probably went double archer range next, which means we're still nowhere near having a blacksmith.
Yeah. He's investing all of his wood right now into mass archers. Double stables, double archer range. So that's a lot of wood investment there. What other upgrades do we have for Anotand at the moment? Does he already have siege engineering? I don't think so. He was never really in the spot right now earlier to put up a ram, so I don't think he invested into that yet. Getting pierce armor in as well for him. So these Juganu are gonna trade out fantastically up against normal archers.
And it's like the berries on the front side have been gathered first. Puppypaw does have the deer behind, but I don't believe he shoved those deer in. So if Anotand circulates, he can block them. Just a little bit
I think they
risky.
even got spread apart.
Yeah.
They're very much spread apart from each other.
We need to check on the Puppypaw sheep count. Like, this is where the game gets scary for him, right? I mean, the reason why he's got this many horsemen and gotten away with it is because how cheap your villages are. But there's still a reality check. Yeah, only 8 sheep remaining and about, what, 3 berry clusters left? So not a great deal of runway, especially considering how much the sheep Anotand still has at home and how close his first deer pack is to his base.
The economy numbers are also still very, very close between the players. Granted, that's part due to just having those Imperial officials from the Imperial Academy. On top of that, Song Dynasty also means that you're going to be able to scale villagers a little bit quicker. Only having a 3-villager lead for Puppypaw, like 10 minutes into the game, that doesn't feel quite good. And I mean, it gets reflected in the income, right? Like Anotand, he's leading by a ton when it comes to the resource income.
He is. I think Puppypaw's eco is a bit stronger than that, right? Because we have got the Imperial officials counting up there, but the reality check is like Puppypaw has nothing efficient now to do with his economy. That's the real problem you run into here.
This could be
Horsemen
good, though.
are going to look for
Very
grab.
good.
We'll be able to stick on top of him here. The undermesh did come in, so the Zhuganu not able to directly fight back at all. I don't know. He's going to have to hold reinforcements home.
Great pickoff.
Now, we do have a
That
ram.
was amazing.
I know. I don't think that Puppypaw can fight this army just yet. Probably has to wait till about 20 archers.
I think that TC is down.
Yeah, there's no one left on it, right? Like, he hasn't
he's
even
pulling
left the
the
garrison
units
force.
Is he going to be able to keep it alive? I think villagers, he might be able to pull some villagers over
He
there.
hasn't got
for
wheelbarrow.
repair.
It's way too slow, right? Like, you get intercepted. So it looks like
Yeah,
he's
it's going to take too long.
10 with the economy lead. And Anotand is happy to now go into pro scouts at 12 minutes in the game.
And look at that. There's a small cluster of villagers right now moving out to the berries in the corner for Puppypaw. And there's a single yellow dot right there as well, waiting for that to happen.
He's so limited, right? There's no way you go further north when there's already a push in towards the TC location here. It's like Divin's going to get one worker kill. Horsemen are still keeping Anno pinned, and the villagers a little bit slow to move away there. Should be able to shuffle off, mostly unscathed. He maybe lost one, but the reality check is that you can't really be diving the TC in the Barbican with just 12 horsemen. So he's going to have to come back and directly attend to this army. And the scout has revealed what's happening out there. So it looks like, is he just going to go all the way over blind?
I mean, we do see the military blob from Anotand move somewhat in that direction. What's happening over there? Spearmen are meeting up. This is an issue for Anotand, right? Like, his military is very, very slow. If he's out of position for just a little bit too long, like he is right now, oh, this could be dangerous. A lot of horsemen did go down, though.
Yeah, and a lot of them
Now
are low
he's diving
HP.
past, that's enough.
Okay, he's going to dive in. Yeah, but look at the health bars on the horsemen.
Actually,
They're gonna get erased. They're gone.
They were all weak. They were all weak. No way.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you try to run through 6 spearmen with a handful of horsemen and just watch these you trade out. I mean, I don't think we even have
You
boot
can't
camp
take
in.
that fight. He probably doesn't. I would imagine that he doesn't.
No.
Yeah, it's not in. It's not in. Horseman. Yeah, not one horseman isn't going to be enough. Puppypaw, he can't take these fights.
Oh my god, and look at the queue. Anotand's like, okay, who needs spearmen? Apparently I can just stick enough bolts in a horse. And remember, he knows about what's happening on that eastern flank, so that's going to be his next target location. Puppypaw needs to reblob horsemen at what almost feels like an impossible pace here.
Granted, the sheep have run out at this point in time for Anotand. Pro Scouts has come through. He's only just now investing into additional scouts, though.
Still, like, you look at the state of things, the risk Puppypaw now has to take with his economy versus what Anotand can do, right? Because it's not like you're in a state in this game where your TC was live long enough that you can now add in farms, right? Like, if you add in farms here, you're dead. The weird part is it looks like Puppypaw, I'm really hoping I'm wrong about this and that's just outposts. It looks like he's thinking about another TC.
Yeah, he is.
What?
I mean, you can't stay on one TC, right? Like, Anotand's on Song Dynasty. He's going to scale.
But
and
you have
need
food issues.
scaling on your side.
Right? Like, let's face the fact, he has big food issues.
If not yet, then at least in a little bit, he will have. And there are so many more Zhuganu in queue. And this is the issue. Like, you really need a big mass of horsemen against that. Like, you need at least half the horsemen that your opponent has in terms of Zhuganu. Like, you need 16 horsemen right now in order to beat this. with the archers that you got as well.
Like that. And I was like, I can't beat a horseman, but I can beat a villager. We do have a poke out on the west side there. It looks like Anotand was forced out to D originally. That might mask the fact that he went pro scouts as well. So Puppypaw might have this belief that Anno is also out of food. And there's the TC drop. He sets up on the deer. He sets up behind the deer though, so hilariously, the pro scouts play could still steal a lot of this away.
Could, 100% could, but at least for the time being, Puppypaw is going to get additional food in. And looks like Anotand right now is mostly just taking his own deer, moves out to berries now as well. Puppypaw, he's messing up resource behind this. I think he actually cancelled some horsemen. Now he has to reinvest though, as the push comes in from Anotand. Ooh, this is dangerous. I think he was flirting with the idea of maybe trying to go up to Castle Age, because if he goes up to Castle Age with the Eco Wing, suddenly he's going to be able to afford farms very easily. At least do that farming switch up. That would solve his food issues, but now, inside of his base, there's a lot of Jugunu. Is trying to trade out, but you don't want to trade out with archers against Jugunu. Not a straight engagement. You need a front line.
I'm a little bit perplexed, man. I feel like it would have been worth stopping off a boot camp, even if you want to be greedy and rush the A's, just like 30 archers with extra health. Feels like it would have been worth the investment. So Puppypaw being inside his own base will eventually mop this up, but definitely high price paid. Behind this, we do have the scout rotating for more resources. And Puppypaw, you know, with 300 food income a minute, it doesn't really instill confidence in your ability to mass horsemen here.
This was a little bit much on the trickling part, though, and Anotand, he's going to lose a lot of his military there, and very slow-moving military as well. So overall, I think Puppypaw might have enough here to potentially stabilize it. It's very rough. We managed to mass up a good amount of horsemen as well. Up to 5 horsemen again. Make that 4.
Woohoo! Hey, there was only 4 musketeers. That's all it took to bring it all down.
So. Now the food income is going down. Oh yeah, this is going to be difficult.
He's setting up farms in the back of his base. Like, this is the most difficult phase of the game for him. Anotand has options. I think we're seeing Castle Age, the one he's choosing.
Yeah, I think it's going to be coming in fairly soon. We say that yet another 10 Jugunu suddenly get queued up.
Yeah, but his economy barely moved. That's the hilarity of that drop-off point with the deer and also the taxation of gold. It feels as if you need more archer ranges if you really want to keep doing this, because it's almost like he's missing part of his timing. Because you can see he's just kind of over-macroing, right? The economy is getting too big. The taxation is just ridiculously strong with this play.
Speaking of timing, there's a couple of horsemen waiting for villagers to go out to the boar. Granted, those aren't villagers, those were spearmen. That was the front line. Okay, nice play from Anotand.
Once upon a time, they were villagers, when they were small boys working the fields. So, how much farmland can Puppypaw set up here? He should have enough room to go like 3 or 4 farm buses. Dude, I look away for 10 seconds, and he goes from what, 500 food to enough to buy Imperial into the Imperial Palace. What a sieve!
I mean, to be fair, like, Anotand destroyed a second TC, right? Like, he should be able to do this. I think Puppypaw, he had the tools to stop that TC from going down, but he opted to go for the reinforcement instead, and now he pays the price for it as Castle Age came in. Veterancy on the Jugunu, probably getting supervised as well, and yeah, there we go. +2 pierce damage now coming in as well. He's going to be in a great spot. Puppypaw about to be able to click the Age up though as well. He needs to wait though. He can't rush it up.
No. And this is where there should be a shove and there should be some punishment.
It's culture wing as well.
It's going to be a price to pay here. I mean, realistically, this could be the 3rd attempt at having a TC going down again. Meanwhile, Anotand has, alongside that tech up, alongside everything else he's been doing here, been able to also mirror the farm count that Puppypaw has achieved.
Yeah, this is about to be very, very painful. Puppypaw, he needs a lot of gold now. He's sending a lot of villagers out to the last gold vein. There's a single yellow dot there once again.
He knows. I mean, this is the thing about Gorge. The tricky thing that makes it quite an interesting map is it spreads you wide. The hilarity is it wasn't even there to scout out a desperation play for gold. It was there to take the deer away.
Now he knows. Now he knows. And there's knights on the way as well. I think that might be either another scout or a knight that is going over in that direction as well. And looks like he's just going for the dive. He knows what's going on. He sees the age up. The Abbas, they can't hide it. You see the House of Wisdom. You will know that your opponent's trying to age up. Puppypaw takes the fight underneath the TC. Does get that bonus support fire from the TC. Bootcamp has come in behind all of this as well. So archers are going to be able to tank up a little bit more here. This is going to be enough, though.
No, and the corner's
going
here.
down.
Okay, he's just snatching the deer away. So the Lance still haven't arrived. Archer count is still looking pretty healthy for Puppypaw. There is a concern about his wood, though. He's already eaten through that safe tree line, which means he's going to have to move them somewhere else, say, in the path of all these Yugenu that are now looking for kills. And the first Lancer has just arrived. Puppypaw still 10 seconds out. And because it's not, you know, Culture first, Military Wing second, we're not going to have an immediate Camel answer to these Lancer Raiders.
Archers trying their best up against these Jugunu, but it's just so many units coming in. 8 more Palace Guards still in queue. Golems in queue for Puppypaw. 1 Lancer as well, but
oh God,
food is a limiting resource here. We're not getting any veterancy upgrades. That would not come in time for him. He recognized that. More villagers going down, though, running through the Jugunu to safety with that main TC. Still kiting back.
This is half of his food income, Crackety, right? He's got 5 workers on the berries, another 5 up on the deer. Most of his food is coming from Farm Central here. Admittedly, a pathetic-looking Farm Central, right? Because he hasn't been able to make that transition, but it means the ability to go Golems, Lancers here is going to be limited. Even crossbows, right? And you've now got Palace Guard flooding into your base. It may not be Yuan, but they're quick enough to hunt down everything. Look at the worker kill count. It has tripled in the last minute.
Yeah, so many villagers going down. Anotand, he's got Puppypaw firmly in his hand right now. And behind us, even going for the relic play. Monastery has come in first. Monk already out on the field. Now picking up those relics. 30 villager lead now. And it's just gonna get worse and worse from here. There's no way Puppypaw will ever get back to farming inside of his base.
Let's put it the correct way here. Puppypaw has got worker kills in return. But 25% of that came from a ball. That's how grim things are looking right now. Anno is just going to pull back. There's no need to dive and overextend here. Puppypaw is in shambles. He may be 2 TC, but he has a long road to go. For Anno, the next step is to prep something a bit more permanent. Rams are on the way, but he's also looking for those relics to continuously extend it.
Yeah, triple ram play, crossbows, and Palace Guards out at front line. Still some Shugunu remaining. I think he's just like splitting them up into little groups that he went on to raids with. And I mean, that's kind of like the way that he got just this many villager kills, right? Like Jugunu, very effective at taking down villagers. Archers, they don't do bonus damage to villagers, but Jugunu, they just always have that high base damage against unarmored units.
Exactly. And, you know, it's not like Puppypaw could have Undermesh level 2 ready with that dive. He was still waiting for the 3rd age at that stage. When you have to react with this much of your army to kill 1 Palace Guard, you know it's a bit of a sour position to find yourself in here.
Plus 2 Pierce armor is already in for Anotand. Plus 2 Pierce damage not yet in for Puppypaw. So the archers, I mean, they're gonna feel like normal archers against normal men-at-arms.
Yeah.
Typically Palace Guards have less Pierce armor, but if you don't have the Pierce damage upgrade, that doesn't matter.
It's also the scalability, right? Like, he doesn't have safe trees anymore. Gorge usually allows you to get with these type of archer comps because how much safe wood. That doesn't exist now. He's going to have to play wide, and that's exactly what he can't afford to be doing right now. Rams moving the 2nd TC. PG get ready to dive. They're going to go hunting. I don't think you need to overextend here, right? Just commit the force in one position and push through. There's a point at which raiding is less valuable than going for the kill.
Villagers gotta evacuate, but at this point, 2nd TC gun. Puppypaw's way of scaling in this game, gun with it. Still tries to go for the fight, but military mass not in his favor. Army value, granted, wood doesn't get counted for the archers, but it's still not gonna be enough.
Hey man, we still got enough stone to make another attempt at 2 TC.
I mean, maybe for Anotand.
Hey, he's on the big stone right now. Puppypaw is legitimately gathering. I mean, this has to be a keep drop to stabilize. Nothing else would make sense. I just don't think it's going to be quick enough. So it's going to be an opening win for Foxlands member. I mean, a damn strong start as well. Admittedly, you can argue China probably the best civ in the game right now for the current meta styles. ABBA have fallen down a little bit. But that's when it's standard pro scouts play. And credit to him, the way Anotand played this was anything but.
Yeah. I mean, this definitely wasn't your standard pro scout play. And against the standard pro scout play, I think military wings make sense. But overall, in any China versus Abbasid game, I would personally still prefer the early economic wing.
Or like, I think this is an interesting build theoretically around culture wing for your own pro scouts, but it doesn't work against the absolute upper echelon, right? Like China, yeah. HRE, Juji, those are just way too aggressive and fast. So aggression, fast. Well, maybe not that fast of a set. Puppypaw apparently likes getting beaten around a bit. He's finally thrown in the towel for game number 1.
GG comes in. Yeah, military value lead at one point. Puppypaw, he got some great picks there every now and then. But ultimately sacrificed his first additional TC for it, and after that it felt like it went downhill there from there on out. That second TC just kind of completely disallowed the scaling for Puppypaw, and he had to reinvest so much into that in order to get it back up again, not to be able to even get enough food for the age up then.
Yeah, and really well played by Anotand from the perspective of blocking that sheep herding, right? I think that's really where it began to go wrong with Puppypaw in the very early stages. Getting so little, usually you don't care as a Basses because you have fresh food stuff to make things cheaper, get berries, and you mentioned the Eco Wing usually is going to be there a lot of the time. I think he was caught off guard by that, right? And by the time you see what's happening with the double scout play, it's too late to find a pivot reaction. If your goal here is to block Juganu, you need to have ample sheep for this type of play, mass horsemen, which this was probably the one time they actually looked like they were worth their weight in food.
Yeah. I feel like if he just, like, after that pickoff, went back, he could have definitely defended his TC, like 8 villagers inside of that as well. By the time the units arrived, the 8 villagers inside TC could have killed like half the spearmen that were there and made it relatively easy for the horsemen with the archers to take that fight.
I mean, after that, it just felt like Puppypaw was scrambling for food, right? Anotand had sniffed out the weakness, and I just loved the delayed playing to pro scouts. It was coming in this dive, right? So at that point, you knew Puppypaw was going to be driven back to his base. I mean, this fight as well. What a joke horsemen look like, right? There's 5 spearmen. That is literally 5 spearmen just getting a few stabs in there, and all of a sudden there's no health bar left.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. Just, we had so many horses. That was so much value lost within 2 seconds, pretty much. It was absolutely ludicrous just how quickly those horsemen did go down to the spearmen.
It's crazy as well, because it felt like almost as if Anotand hit the A click at the perfect time for each spearman to attack a different horseman, right? Because, like, there is a very big risk. Why that usually looks like a bad defense for the spears is you just overkill one pony, right? Like, everyone just stabs the same one, and there's a very big attack animation, and attack speed is very low for spears. But that pristine hit to all of them got it low enough that the repeater crossbows just basically fire off one volley, and everything was dead.
Yeah. That was absolutely crazy. I can't believe, like, getting that, like, value volley in. You just, like, see all the horsemen suddenly disappear with a single A move there. And the spearmen just perfectly set it up for that. Here at this point in time, I felt like, hey, Puppypaw can maybe rebound in this because Anotand was just trickling heavily at this point in time. And even though archers, like, get countered hard by the Juganu because no bonus damage on both sides, but Juganu just have more base damage against unarmored units, Anotand just got the age up in behind that, and then this push happened. Once again, Puppypaw doing a great job of, like, keeping him out of his economy, taking good army trades here, even being an age behind. But I feel like the age up just need to come in so much earlier for Puppypaw. If he was aged up at this point in time already, instead of 45 seconds later, I think he would have still been in a decent position to hold.
Yeah, especially with the Golden Age too, and so you skim a few seconds off the tech speed, so you get me a bit faster, and you do have enough base to kind of run away into to buy that time. Especially at this stage in the game, right? Like, usually the issue in Gorge is you have to be pinned in your base because that's where your tree line is. At that stage, it ran out anyway, so you could have been spreading wider. But, you know, the other interesting thing to think about here is, realistically, Anno did just use his most powerful pick in his draft, right? He still has some decent ones, Delhi English come to mind, but I think China's the king. But Puppypaw, you know, if you're an NA fan, no need for the doom and gloom. He's still got HRE as his first pick. Wouldn't be surprised if he whips it out here, because usually you don't want to end up 2-0 behind. Obvious reason is if he wins one more game, I lose. But from a draft POV, it allows your opponent to do some wacky things with their selections.
Yeah. HRE definitely a very, very strong civ here that Puppypaw has access to. I'm wondering what the idea was behind picking Abbasid on a map like Gorge. It's not typically a map that I think we see the Abbasid most often on. Typically, it's more like aggressive civilizations or civilizations that can move into a certain timing window in Castle Age.
I mean, I'm trying to think if he was expecting French.
Maybe so, but look at what we're got coming up next here. We're moving straight into...
Yeah.
Our favorite map, I feel like.
wait. I would have thought he'd leave this a little bit deeper, because Japan seems like a doozy, a decent civ to have here. The Shinobi spam, very strong. But as we've witnessed, Ottomans are no pushover on this particular map either.
Yeah, we're gonna be moving out next. Oh man, I'm excited. I'm happy for this one. Moving out, coming in,
Mhm.
and it's gonna be Ottomans for Anotand, and I'm wondering right now. I'm wondering if Anotand has something special planned for Ottomans are moving out. I'm
Yeah.
thinking, of course, you don't have a lot of room for military schools. Where else can you get your military schools in? The Grand Galley. What happened with the Grand Galley recently? It's been buffed, actually. The
Oh,
Grand Galley now gets affected baseline by the production speed upgrade, aura from the blacksmith. Previously, that wasn't the case, so the Grand Galley actually produced units very slowly, but now it always produced them at the quickest speed possible.
something tells me he's probably just going to build Sapahi in an Imam.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. But if it gets to that point, mark my words.
Wait, hear me,
It's
hear me
gonna be
out,
awesome.
Crackety. I've got it. It's going to be Cav Archers on the mainland.
Oh, please no. Cav Archers, I feel like are. I think Cav Archers are in the same spot that Mangudai are in. Really, really good in Imperial Age. Before that, not so much. Mainly because you can just stack so many upgrades on them in Imperial Age. That's when they actually become borderline broken, similar to Desert Raiders.
In fairness, though, Magadai have been looking really good in this tournament so far.
Yeah, and granted, it was one game. It was one game on
What?
Prologer where they turned really good.
We've had multiple games where like small groups of Magadai define the game. I think the issue with Cav Archers comparatively is like you have to get a vizier point into them, and then they cost what feels like an arm and a leg compared to Magadai for what they do, right? Well,
I think Mangudai become really strong in Imperial Age. Before that, there is so much counterplay against them.
I mean, you just got to find the right angle, Crackety. You're up against Japan. They don't like having ranged units. Ergo, build Cav Archers. Just kite them out, laugh in their face. I mean, we'll have to see what Anna's got in mind, though. It's time for game number 2. We are moving out.
Moving out indeed. So there we go. Game number 2 coming up right away. Puppypaw playing as the Japanese and Anotand on the Ottomans on a nice little shared starting island. Little wood line divides the two players, but don't be concerned because there is going to be plenty of intimate action on the starting island coming in very soon.
Yeah. I like to call that starting island Pac-Man with a moustache. Or Bangtash
That's
from
a
the
weird
70s.
moustache.
Yeah, he didn't shave it evenly. I mean, but what do you expect for a guy who has no arms?
Why is the moustache going from top to bottom?
Because you're looking in like he's tilted on his side, you know? We'll have to see who's going to gobble up who. Realistically, Japan should feel really good here with the play into Shinobi. I think that's the one redeeming quality because something that's interesting about Ottos is like in the mid game, at least on a standard map, they're pretty good at dealing with Japan due to the meta's auras. Of course, this isn't our standard map. This is a little bit crazier. And that's going to maybe limit gold-oriented units, which is why I was thinking Sapahi could make a lot of sense for the Ottos, just to kind of raid the tree line.
This is the complete opposite of a standard map.
Yeah, it's slightly different. You know, on a standard map, you have enough time to think about what you want to do. We don't like thinking around here, Crackety, right? We feel like you should be prepared as a pro player for everything to go wrong in the first 5 minutes.
Exactly. Is there a reason why Anotand is going for the far deep sea fish? Probably not.
I think he just like looked on the mini map. I don't think you can rally them on the mini map.
No.
Right?
That's shoreline fish.
Oh, yeah. That's shoreline,
Yeah. I was baited.
Which is
they look
like
the same.
which is hilarious in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, that's actually something you gotta watch out for.
These are
I got
some of the
baited.
most confused tuna shoreline fish you'll ever find. You know?
Yeah.
This,
They went a little bit too deep.
this is
9
basically the
villagers?
Nemo story, right? Like this is the
Or 8
clownfishes.
villagers?
Wait, 8?
8 and a scout? That's a big commitment from Puppypaw.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, the only way this would make sense in my brain is if you were trying to like either fast tech or we're gonna do something weird like building the Coca Township on the starting island.
We're getting a house in.
Yeah, which
And
is going to
can
be
you
the
see that
mill,
gold
right?
mine?
So he's going to eat the
Yeah.
berries, and then he's going to split to the gold. But my thought here is like, there is kind of a wacky
Oh,
play.
he already has Tawara.
Yeah. Wait, really?
Yeah, he's missing 50 gold.
But he doesn't have a forge. Oh, sorry, yeah,
It's
sorry,
getting
we're
it
talking
now.
wheelbarrow. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so we are going to get Berry Rush. So one thing I'm wondering, though, like, is there a world in which you just build a shinobi on the island? Because the fort here is Anatand's going to eat deep in that tree line, and you can just shin in, right? Like, if you just keep spamming shinobi there, you can hit out a lot of villages, and then transport them to the outer island afterwards.
I think it makes... I mean, both works, right? Like, both works. I think the main issue there, like, you can also have it on the outer island and then have the shinobi transport to the middle. I think it's better that way because you don't want to have all your landmarks at one spot.
You know, in case Anatand rushes Castle Age and builds rams out of his Mehmet and Imperial Armory. Just your standard dangers, really.
Yeah. There we go. Age-ups coming in for both players. So we are getting the Coca Township on the outer island and Sultanani trade network on the center island for Anotand. It's going to be a very nice landmark here for him, just passively able to generate gold. Very important on a map like this.
Yeah,
And we already got some early walls.
Yep, Anatand's like, no, not in my territory. I mean, the awkward thing about this is the Coca will produce a unit that doesn't care about walls.
Yeah.
Will spring in their step. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that.
It's one of those situations where you might find yourself in where you jump the fence and suddenly you can't jump back over because there's a cooldown.
I never have those issues, Crackety, because when I jump fences, it's like that cop in Hot Fuzz. You know, I
Can't recall the scene.
I jump the fence, but the fence falls over with me.
Oh. It's like, okay, that makes sense. Now you can't jump back over.
Wait, can you sabotage? I've never tried. Can you actually sabotage fences?
I don't think so.
It sounds
I mean,
dumb,
maybe.
but like, good dumb. No way.
Why would you sabotage a fence when there's a perfectly sabotageable dock right next to it?
I guess you just like, haha, no sprouts can be produced out of this palisade wall of wood. Assume that's how it works. We have got the transport ship rotating around, just checking what's happening on the other side. First Shinobi, of course, being the free one, is going to be queued up. Spiral's coming out from both players here. Everything just very orderly. No signs of chaos so far, which feels like we're on the wrong map.
Additional docks coming in from both players, and the scout does spot out Anatand's villagers there. Interesting mill there, not next to the berries, instead next to the gold mine. Getting wheelbarrow in a little bit early. Do we already have that? Yeah, Shinobi's already on his move now.
Yeah, so he's not going to try to drop him on the other side. I mean, you can rotate round, harass the opponent on the gold, and then your transport ship can just pull across onto the island again anyway. But it does mean that he's done nothing to hinder production of the initial boats. It's a little bit difficult against Ottomans, right? Because they do get those cheaper docks.
Yeah. This could be a little bit dangerous now for Anotand, though. Does manage to... that was the scout. Okay, so he hasn't scouted out the Shinobi yet, but if he goes further in that direction, he's going to be able to spot him.
Yeah, he just kind of dragged him towards the critical piece of information here. But, you know, this could be a bait if it wasn't for the fact that Puppypaw just added in 2 more Shinobi.
It's a lot of Shinobi. It's a lot of firepower. Do we get an outpost on Anotand's side or a production building?
Nah, we're just going to cut through and get our blades out.
Oh, there it is. No, there we got an outpost.
Okay, so yeah, we've got outposts in the outer island, but like none being committed in the center is a little bit surprising. Usually around now is a good time to try and drop an outpost. Otherwise, you end up in a weird rush against your opponent. But
Yeah, outpost definitely really good. And it looks like we already... Do we have an emplacement on that dock? No emplacement yet. It's not firing.
we do have a very, 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 very tiny Berlin Wall no-go zone between the two, with those walls coming up from both. There's always a chance
Scouts
the
still
Shinobi
chasing
would
each other.
accidentally teleport. Ooh, that's great. We
Able to
do
stay alive,
need
villager.
to finish it though.
Yeah, not happening.
He's not sniping the villager
repair
either.
speed. I mean, how are you going to snipe it?
It's so
like
difficult,
inside
right?
the ship. Yeah.
Like, you know, you have to click beyond the ship and beyond the dock. And as we know, Crackety, you can't rotate your cameras. It's illegal.
Oh, outpost is coming in. Can they already see each other at this point in time?
No.
They can't yet, but no, that wasn't an outpost. That's a lumber camp and a house. Okay, never mind. No outpost
There's
yet.
no
I
room
was
for
hoping.
outposts at this stage.
Oh, They're just gonna like look at each other, and at one point the player's gonna realize, and he's gonna be like, "Wait, I can make an outpost here."
All right, hear me out. This is the game to build archery range as Japanese on the mainland, on your island, rather. Just get a few cheap Yumi out.
Maybe. Ooh,
You are living in La La Land, mate. Anotand, he loses the sheep. So master his sheep in game 1. Doesn't know what they are in game 2.
Oh, villagers trying to repair, but you gotta be so careful.
We're scaling quite a lot of horsemen, so he's definitely looking to breach that outpost in the outer island.
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean,
If you're able to take that down.
It won't stop Anotand from generating gold altogether, but it will minimize his ability to get mass, which means that we won't see that big demo ship play.
Oh, and he's making archer range. He hasn't scouted the horseman. Wait, he has scouted the stable. Why is he making the archer range?
Guess you can hide in the tower? I mean, you kind of have to address the shinobi first, like, right? Like, your opponent could have a lot of them coming. Harrislet's also on the way from Anno, so he's going to be joining the dance of these emplacements. Of course, Puppypaw is a bit more efficient. Doesn't really have to touch stone to get what he gets.
Yeah, no fortification, though. This is difficult. Looks like the villagers that were repairing the dock did get taken down. At least one of them did.
And
we go,
we
first
have
outpost.
arrived. Surprise! So that's only going to be one worker going down. But still a lead for Puppypaw that is now building.
Yeah, and it is going to cost idle time. Granted, Anotand still had like 3 hulks in the queue, right? Wasn't a lot of idle time for him in the end. Looks like we're getting emplacement in. I want to believe that that's a dock emplacement, but I'm not seeing it come in Puppypaw on the dock, so might be inside of the... no, never mind. It's for the outpost in the woodline.
Yeah, he's upgrading online rather. So we are going to have a little bit more annoyance in the center island. But for the moment, Anno's safe. It's a bit risky, though. That south side, if he loses the fight, has to fall back at all. That's huge idle time on his woodline.
Fortified outpost, though. Fortified outpost is going to mean that that outpost is pretty much safe against those units.
Made a big investment there so far. Demo ship's going to be a whiff, but Puppypaw, like, we're now 5 horsemen, 5 shinobi. He was really looking for that timing, just starve all gold. It's going to take way too long now. That means he's actually weaker on the water as a result, because Anno, of course, has just been blindly committing everything to the seas. Demo Connect is going to come in. Just needs that finishing touch. This is also idling out the second fishing strike, but that is a hit and a half. Gets 2, almost gets a third.
Intense. Oh my god. Gets the value in. 2 hulks go down, another one now. I still feel like the investment Puppypaw on land is completely negotiated by those outpost fortifications now that have come in.
I mean, he's just standing there. Like, if you check that eastern island, the eastern side of the map, you can see it, right? Like, from both angles, he's just kind of staring. Like, one day I'll be able to take out your goal.
Menacingly.
He's staring intently, right? It's almost like you've just rolled really useless abilities in Pokemon, like, what? Glare, I think was one of them.
Oh, now Anotand going for the dock on the side of Puppypaw's base, so is going to be able to take those fishing, like that deep sea fish that is still at the shoreline there. Anotand gonna get a lot of food scaling there.
It's not going to be free pockets available to him. I mean, Puppypaw, the best easy maneuver to make is just go the opposite side of where your enemy's military is. The problem is if he does that, it will be a dive directly into his back line where he's still got the remainder of his fishing. So kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Anno, meanwhile, is now adding in Sapahi. Was that on the outer island, though? I believe so?
It is. It is on the outer island, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, there we go. That makes a bit more sense of spears. The archery range is already gone. Cancelled it in the end. Must have noticed just last second what was actually happening.
Still more units in production over on land. It's going to be another fight on the shoreline from the looks of it. At this time, with an emplacement on the dock, fishing ships look like they're getting sacrificed here.
Look at the demo ships. He's holding them back and waiting for the pristine moment. He's basically sacrificing hulks to clear the way for a big breach here. Archer ships were held in reserve, though. Puppypaw saves his bacon from getting cooked here. Now it starts to feel like an overextension.
It is, but there's still demo ships.
There's one demo. There's double arrow slit placement here. As long as he pulls back for the sandwich! Oh, no! He's just a mile ahead with this! What a move! And now look at the villagers idled. Puppypaw looks sunk in brain as much as he's sunk at sea here. Not sure what to do with this anymore.
Oh my god. He still has the emplacement though. So this is going to be a tough fight if it goes on for a lot longer. Grant, there are even more demo ships coming in. Puppypaw is trying to get them over.
I mean, that is a hot chase for just one ship. We'll be able to find it and go back for the other. The Springwood ships are moving in, so she'll be able to snipe one or two villages when they jump out. Instead, actually, kind of a misplay there. Anotand didn't move in. Would have been able to get one or two workers for sure. So Puppypaw has migrated to the mainland, but he needs to secure it all 360 here. It's going to be a dive onto the outpost that is heavily fortified. Sipahi are coming out, but that is terrible against Shinobi, so not a great way of defending himself here.
Is able to get the Sipahi down. No spear in production. Not that it really matters, because in theory, Puppypaw could also sabotage the barracks here. I feel like maybe Puppypaw now tries to go for a transition over to Castle Age in through the land. Yeah, sabotage is coming in, at least on the stable. Outpost is focusing down Shinobis from the looks of it. Looks like we are getting spearmen in potentially as well. Yeah, Anotand able to take the water control here, and now we're getting into a situation. It's going to be fairly interesting because we're going to be seeing a situation where a player has like no access to water at all, and is instead going to have to play this one on land. Repairs coming in. Puppypaw is not reacting.
It's just starting in a few villages now, but I don't think that's low enough for a kill. So Puppypaw's army is going to fail him here. He's in trouble pretty much everywhere at this stage, it feels like. He can't really touch the fish at all. He can't stop Anotand permanently from gathering gold. And even with all this harassment, let's keep in mind that Satani has been generating a little bit of gold trickle through to work with, which is why he's still able to keep scaling a new line of navy to make sure Puppypaw never gets back on the seas.
Sheba getting transferred once again. Villager migration moving over to the deer or to the next batch of berries out on the mainland.
Can we check the outpost and hover on its emplacement?
There is a vizier point that changes the emplacement to a crossbow.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he got that. No, go down a bit. Down a bit. No, down more. On the damage value. Like, you want to see the bonuses. Okay, so he didn't get extensive fortifications.
Yeah. It's the normal one. Normal 10 damage.
It's an interesting tech. Basically, it makes it 20% cheaper to get emplacements and gives you crossbows, which do more damage. Yeah, won't be seeing in this game. That was just normal arrow fire, shredding through him. We do have outposts now coming on the north side. It's Anotand diversifying on his gold gathering here, and he's clearly getting ready for Castle Age. And Puppypaw is trying to mirror here, admittedly with a substantially weaker economy when it comes to the seas.
Yeah. He's gonna need to make something happen on land instead. So villagers though on the deer, and surprisingly economy numbers at the moment still fairly even.
Yeah.
And that is with the 3 additional economy units that Anotand got from the landmark.
Which is very surprising, actually. If we do a raw villager count, I mean, the thing is the fishing boats should be adding on, like, what, 8, 9 in favor of Anotand? Yeah, so 49 villages.
13 fishing ships. Puppypaw.
51. So yeah, it's only those 2 worker kills. So he's missed a lot of production, right?
Maybe.
Unless the fishing boats have been surviving.
No. I remember. I forget about it every time.
Oh, that's right.
There's a bug, the fishing ships. They count as military.
They count as military. Yeah.
Because they use Delhi as like the base civilization.
I always forget and then always remember, and then we go through this every time. Yeah, so that's why, like, you can look at the raw military count. It doesn't make sense because he's got, like, what, 15 in boats and then 2 in land. So that means there's a missing 17. So you've got 17 fishing boats. It's an insane economical.
We're getting a transition into samurai now. On Puppypaw.
I mean, he can't really afford anything else, right? And it feels like you're going to need quantity because I feel like you're going to get zerged here. If you look on the north side, Anotand is just building up a giant base to push forward with.
This is going to be a tough one. Double outpost there as well. I mean, with this many villages on gold, like, you can just mass Janissaries. And Janissaries with their attack speed, like, crossbows don't do that well against samurai. I mean, they do well, but they don't do that well, mainly because of the slow attack speed. But Janissaries, they attack so quickly, like they take down that deflective armor instantly, and then they go ham.
Just build Yumi.
Even against Notifications, they're really great. But yeah, Yumi Archer, I mean, yeah. But
I mean,
do you
in
ever
theory,
really want to make Yumi? You kind of need to, but do you ever really want to?
when your economy is like 17 behind, I think you really want to, because it's probably the only thing you can afford. Like, you know, we have Puppypaw and Castle Age building Spearman. Do I need to say more?
I mean, he says Spearman RP, so makes sense.
That's true, but he's Japan, right?
Oh,
like
Sapahi. Sapahi?
He
does have
looks
ships
like
nearby.
He looks like the deer. He has noticed.
Shifts getting pulled.
Textiles is doing a lot of work here, because that
It
should have been a
has.
dead villager by now. It looks like he's
It's
going to
gonna
lose
be
one.
one dead. Yeah.
The walls are up. What is that wall from Anotand? He's living in an ambitious world here. I don't
I
think
mean, he has the fishing ships there, right? Like he should have the line of sight to see that. Hey,
on
there's
high
probably
ground.
stuff moving over there.
Let me check, because I think
He barely doesn't see. Okay, never mind.
That's unfortunate. I mean, we have to remember that a while back they did nerf the vision a little bit, and then obviously uphill as well comes into the equation, so a bit difficult to get that deep line of vision. This is depressing for him, though. There's not actually much in the way of places that Puppypaw can keep gathering without being seen here.
He might need to go for another migration over to the mainland. What's good for him, though, is that at the moment he's able to take berries, which are just so insane for a Japanese. Like, look at the food income for Puppypaw at the moment.
It's ridiculous, right? Because once you have the level 2 wheelbarrow, you're basically gathering at Borg gathering rates, and then if you get the tier 3, which comes in Castle Age, to the moon. A little bit of a step there. Anotand didn't notice that he's being harassed on that tree line, so we'll have to pull away now. There's some nice kills found for Puppypaw. Needed as well at this stage. I know.
Oh, villager, he's getting the information. He knows what's going to be coming his way.
Yes, that's exactly what that villager had planned. The reason he was down there, he's like, I feel a need to go discover what they're up to.
Oh, look what Anotand is got now in queue. What's going to be coming up next? He switched over from the mangonel on the landmark over to the sprinkles.
Yep.
And that against Japanese just hurts the Japanese so much. Like,
I mean,
what do
everything you
Japanese
do,
want to
right?
make?
Yep.
Melee.
And they aren't playing the mounted samurai strategy, right? Which makes sense in fairness. Like on a map like this, with the weak economy, yes, but more important, this map, because things have already started to wall, because you're both equally on the mainland, you're talking about thin choke points, right? Like, could you imagine just trying to play mounted samurai to mountain pass? It just feels dumb if you can't get past that choke point. So I see where it's coming from, but Anotand apparently saw it coming a mile off.
Yeah, Anotand, he doesn't have a lot of water military,
No.
right?
He's kind of given up on it, which is surprising. It's not like he done anything to stop Puppypaw getting back on water here.
And it's very easy for a civilization like Japanese to get back on water.
Yeah.
Reinvesting into fishing ships, not that expensive for them.
Well, it looks like he's getting ready for war again. We just saw Armored Hull coming in, and he just spawned the Bombard.
Oh, and it's gonna be on the main island.
Yep.
And he's already got a ram there as well. Oh my god, this is gonna...
Ram for the vision, Bombard for the kill. Sounds like a combo.
Getting samurai on the main island.
I mean, dude, just like, yeah, I don't know why this Ram didn't just head upwards looking for the villages. If he just gets line of sight, he could wipe it.
Oh my god, this map is crazy.
And he brought the
He
entire
brought
army
the
here.
army over. Oh, Puppypaw, you can't see that.
He's gonna learn at the
He's
hard way
gonna see it
though.
now.
He's like, oh no.
Oh no.
He's like, can you guys deflect a cannon shot? No, we can't, guys. There's limits. What do you want from me? I managed to make a bolt deflect. I can even make a gunshot deflect.
Just
You want me to
slice
make
it
a
in half.
cannonball?
Just slice it in half. It'll work, guys. Trust. Believe in the process.
Hey, you just need to like make some sort of weird noise that seems appropriately out of Overwatch, right? Just quote Genji, and then it works. Oh gosh,
Military
push coming in though.
schools.
I mean, he's just fixated here. He's like, okay, I'm not pulling the army back. This is gonna be my island.
Yeah, I feel like there's also no way for Puppypaw to realistically push over that wood line. Just because of the choke point as well.
And the other interesting thing here is like, if this throne just starts attacking, this burn force dies very fast. So the Janissary,
Puppypaw's gotta go for migration.
yeah, he will be able to get out because he was able to get back on water the way he did. Anotand has been holding troops in reserve. Look how many Janissaries have just been sitting here this whole time. So that was shred through the wave of melee troops.
Yeah. He's gotta go.
And on the mainland, on the island rather, we've got like another attempt to raid. I think that was maybe Samurai diving in. Yeah, so he's trying to wrap around the back. I mean, it's just too many Janissaries though.
Puppypaw. He's still got a lot of units there on water. Might be able to pull them to go for a little bit of a supportive play here. Samurai still looking to maybe go onto that Great Bombard, but it's so difficult. And when that Great Bombard gets a shot off,
He's not targeting the villages though.
is it gonna? No, it's not gonna shoot.
Just squeeze on in there, get full coverage, boom shakalaki away to victory.
Ooh, Samurai.
Janissaries. Wait, has he got Dachi? That looks like a
I think he
Dachi.
might have. It's a lot of damage, that's for sure.
In the back away here. Yeah, it is definitely the Adachi, so it shreds through them. The Janissaries aren't clearing this as quickly as you'd like to see because Anotand has 0 front line to protect this. Sprinkles are arriving as well. He will eventually mop this up, but that's a lot of defense force like lost, right? You've got maybe 1 Janissary. It's going to be none, surely.
Oh, wait, that's a crossbow. The TC has the crossbow on it. Anotand's got the 0 point now.
Wait, really? He actually went for
look
it.
at the placement.
Okay, that's kind of sick, specifically because your opponent just went into heavily armored units, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Meanwhile, Anno now building even more Sprinkles. Now, we did say that it counters all the melee units that Puppypaw was going to build. There is one interesting interaction. It is the thing that's being built right now. Onabigisha are kind of a signature siege killer with their attack speed.
Yes. I mean, they also get the bonus range, right? So they are able to surround quite quickly.
And you are getting your dream, Crackety. It is on the way.
Yes, let's go, the Grand Galley. That's what I want to see. Oh my god, this one.
This is just getting toxic. And he's getting more crossbow placement. No, sorry, he's going for the Sprinkles instead. Why discount it? So Puppypaw is done with this island now. He's like, you know what? Fine, have it. You get this nice little island in the divorce, but I'm taking the entire landscape of the mainlands.
What does Puppypaw want to do against this now?
There's a lot of villages, right? Because he has gone extra 2 TC.
And he managed to force Anotand like back onto the one fishing side as well. Like he took over water for the most part again. But now with the Grand Galley,
yeah. And not just that, there's another big problem. Congrats, you've moved your villages away. You built 2 TC. But the Great Bombard survived long enough to the point that Anotand's gonna be able to make more of them.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's about to hit Imperial Age, Istanbul Observatory, and now with the amount of military schools that he's got out already, he's gonna flood military.
And the fact that it's built into the Grand Galley that you mentioned earlier, right? It's just gonna be a nice little D-Day storm into the corners. The Geeks in the meantime are gonna be able to just poke from the flank, but there isn't gonna be any full dive. I'm struggling to see what Puppypaw's solution is, man. Like, we're 26 minutes in the game, your opponent's going Imperial, and you're going Yumi.
There's a timing that Puppy can reach on land. Because if you look on land, Anotand, what does he have on land? He's got 20 units on land. Puppypaw has got like 60.
We do, however, have Anotand adding in a lot more men-at-arms now.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
Onabigisha don't do well against men-at-arms. Neither do Yumi archers.
No, you will kill them, but it's almost like watching a swarm of 8-year-olds attack a teenager. You know? He'll eventually topple him. But that teenager's on the local rugby team. He's built.
He's been taking creatine.
Yes, creatine. Let's go with that. Definitely no illegal substances. Like,
it's not illegal.
When you're one of like when you're on the high school rugby team, but you look big enough to be on the national team, there's definitely nothing sus. I'm not projecting. There wasn't a kid like that in my year. He was really big. So we have the perfect sniper for the boats. Turns out there's not going to be any raid attempt there. Courtesy of the giant ass bomber.
Villager finds the army once again. Does go down, but does provide the information. So Anotand, he's gonna know what's going on. And that bombard, it's gotten so much value, right? Like,
you know what, Cracky, it's so interesting, right? Like, what we're witnessing here is the need for Omen to get a buff. If you look on their military schools, you know, most players would be like, let's just send a scout, right? You can't. That's why we keep using villages to scout the players from Puppypaw.
Where did half the Onabigashas go?
Weren't
we at like 32?
Wait, did he get sunk?
it makes sense with the math, right? He was on 32, now he's on 16. 16 fit inside a transport ship.
But what did he run into? The Great Bombard?
Maybe? The Great Bombard. Definitely
We saw it sink
tanked
one
the
thing,
ship.
but I don't think it was the transport ship. I'm pretty sure that was a galley.
Something's been sunk.
Many things have been sunk. Like, Puppypaw's hopes of winning this game, but looks like he's trying to save for Imperial now. I mean, this has to be Castle the Crow, right? There's no point, actually. Yeah. Like, this is a sad reality, right? There's nothing for you to trade to.
He's putting it forward right where Anotand's about to push from.
No way! And the outpost is about to see it. If he lines up the Springles, he can wipe out 2/3 of the builder force there. We need to check on that. It's going to be a big hit to the economy. He's moving in for it now.
Positioning.
Wait, what? Wait, no!
And we're killing the ball.
I don't know. That was a golden opportunity here to hit them with the Springles.
Now, Puppypaw, he's going from the other side.
We do have the big-ass characters coming out now, so Puppypaw knows it's only a matter of time before he's forced off of water. There was an attempt to go around.
He's got to go back.
Stop back down, but he's got to rotate the entire map. So essentially, for the defense, Puppypaw, yeah, we've got the boats, then we've got the army out of position. Let's just basically be fair and take 3/4 off of his military pop count, because that's what's missing from this.
Springles are supporting on land, though. Now Sapaya leads Sapaya as well. Running through.
Straight into the farms.
They are so much more tanky than normal horsemen.
The other problem is those Springles. Those Springles are stopping any assistance from the water at all, even if you get close to the coast. There's also enough Springles to almost immediately snipe out any hand cannoneers that spawn. This looks done. I just don't see how Puppypaw is meant to get any deeper in this game. I'm shocked he even surprised, it's even survived this long.
I feel like there might have been like some timings that he could have pushed on land. But Anotand, he's just been so good with having enough units, enough choke points with the siege to always pretty much be able to... It's the... Okay, it's a tech.
Let's say it properly.
It's the no damage Abuna.
The Surrender Bune has come out to play and has failed him entirely. But it do look pretty with those missiles.
Yeah. I mean, the gunsmith went down already. There's another great bombard.
At least they track, right? I'm sure like Kim Jong's somewhere taking notes on them. But he's seeking scrap. It's just everything else about them is sad. We actually have Puppypaw trying to never have to worry about the land again. He's actually stonewalling off it, which makes sense considering his army this entire time has still been running all the way around to get back to defend their base. No, really. They're still coming.
They're on their way.
Soon.
It's similar to the dragons from Game of Thrones, right? Like, they took a couple of seasons. They'll be there. Wait. Hold. Another season. They'll get there eventually.
You spoke of seasons, it seems appropriate because this one's getting spicy, man. This game continues to deliver. I don't really see the way for Puppypaw outside of Anotand slipping up big time. Like, with this much siege, even Reboldic wins. These type of choke points just kill you to try and break through. Especially with how
siege, right? You gotta get rid of the siege, and there's about to be 4 great bombards in for Anotand.
It's only 4. I mean, you know...
It's got 8 Spriggles as well. It's a lot of siege.
And a Reboldic.
Yeah. If you're a melee unit right now, you don't feel confident. Oh,
You know, it's a good thing that Puppypaw isn't just playing a Civ that practically is all about his melee.
That's good.
Wait a second. Well, that's proof that Grand Galleys need another buff.
Oh, the Shinto Priest. Okay.
Yes. The critical detail that matters right now is that Shinto Priest. They have killed religion. It's very unhistorically accurate for ultimates.
Now imagine this. Imagine this. 2 more layers of stone walls, and then you go for a landmark snipe from Puppypaw.
Yes.
Put up 2 layers of walls and you snipe on 2 sides.
And then you run all the way around and discover he's got like another stone wall, and then you run all the way back and then die like this. Clash coming in. The Springle shots will just clear the front line quickly. The Great Bombard will look to turn the back line into 10-pin bowling. The Roboticon has been there as morale support, and the Sapahi are going to be mopping the floor with what remains here. The hand cannoneers are just trying to shuffle in between the outposts. Should be able to survive this initial wave, but Anotand already has 10 more of the counter cav lined up and coming.
Yeah, he does. So it's a lot of reinforcements still coming in, and another TC is going to fall underneath the fire of 3 great bombards with 3 more in queue. The AoE that's coming in, like, these might as well be mangonels on top of everything else.
And the Roboticon at this stage just feels not needed because this is coming about the hand cannoneers. There's only hope, but for Anotand it makes things simple, right? Just more cavalry can go. There's at least a raid going around, so it looks like he's trying to cut off the center island. But at this stage, there's not really much left on that island. And hilariously enough, Anotand is now hiding his farms inland in the remains of Puppypaw's base.
Yeah, there's no great way still for Puppypaw to be able to deal with that siege. Getting more Takabunas in. Is he maybe
Very
trying to snipe them from water?
Does that work? I mean, they have less range than Great Bombards, no?
Ah,
Pretty sure they have worse range than Great Bombards.
less damage, that's for sure. That's another landmark down. There's 1 remaining. Puppypaw.
You know,
Only that Castle Age landmark.
yeah. So this is where you
Holy
wish
game.
you built the Tanegashima gunsmith on the east side of the outskirts,
Yeah.
so you could just keep running around in circles, coming back repairing. Because like,
Imagine if he had like 3 bombards from that. Or like, he could have maybe like. We've seen it time and time again that like mass bombards
oh god,
actually work against the great
what is that
bombards.
keep?
Oh no.
Okay, attacking
Oh wait, they're
Bunes.
actually doing well.
Hold on
They're
a
actually doing
second.
well.
The Great Bombards
Hold
aren't
on.
reacting right now. They've got other things to deal with. They're still not turning.
Second one down.
He's so focused on killing the hand cannoneers, he's not dealing with the Takebunes. However, I think their attacks, some of them might be getting intercepted now.
I didn't expect
Are
that
you kidding
interaction.
me?
I thought the great bombards would barely get tickled by them.
Well, yeah, but that's because the Great Bombards didn't even turn around to attack them. Like, if you check the Takebune range, isn't it 10? I think it's 10. Yeah,
It's
9.
9.
It's even worse.
I had no clue that that was gonna happen there. Suddenly, oh, guess we're getting an additional 2 Takabunas in.
But surely, look, there's no way Anotand would go into a fight and again completely ignore the Takebunes, right? I can't believe I just said that statement, but you need to deal with the Takebunes.
God.
I mean, he has got the Springwall still. Realistically, in these fights, because Puppypaw no longer has a front line, your Springwalls are best used to deal with the Takebunes, and then Great Bombards can target the hand cannons.
There's still a win condition though. That is running thin behind all of this for Puppypaw, and it's that last landmark.
Yeah, we're getting closer. Like, he could technically avoid the Takebunes the whole way round.
Oh, actually heading back a little bit.
Those are landmarks.
One landmark.
I'll start to go down.
Getting reverse win condition.
And what we're seeing right there on the island is how Canadians feel about trade right now.
Yes. In this timeline especially.
Was that like 100% tariff?
Yeah. No more trade.
No more trade. Never again.
No more trade. Bombard gun. Granted, we couldn't really see it, thanks to the beautiful colors.
Wow, I feel like, you know, this is impressionist painting. Takebunes have broken the broadcast. Now all we need is for Puppypaw to enter the Flying Dutchman cheat.
It's going around the side.
We talked about this, right? If you just avoid it like the plague. Because as you know, problems in life work
can't
like
reach
so.
it.
If you ignore them, they just go away.
That's how it works. I mean, Puppypaw, what does he have? He's got hand cannoneers.
We have a Great Bombard intercepting new Takebunes. And just enough army thickness to sneak on by unnoticed here. Oh god, and the hand cannoneers are coming.
They are coming. They do
Puppypaw.
be coming.
They might be going to the afterlife, they're not careful.
Like, what can you make Puppypaw? He's got 75 food per minute.
What
can he afford?
Make siege.
What siege? He's making rams.
All the siege. No, it's because he needs to hit through the other side and there's walls in the way, right?
There's also rams coming in from Anotand.
He's like, I'm a-coming. Wait. Can we just go back over to that tree line being cut by Puppypaw? The irony of having no food and standing right next to neutral sheep is not lost to me.
It's not worth it, man. It's just 200, 600. Oh,
we can just eat gold and wood now. And oh, this great bombard. Honestly, if we're playing Red Alert 2, it probably got its veterancy its full star by now. Shoot 2 great bombard shots at once. Break from the wall. Papa was like, aha, you cleared the way for me. Go, Rams, go. New wall attempt. In front of 4 great bombards. Oh, what could go wrong?
He's trying to put them up quicker and they can go down, but up against the great bombards, it doesn't really work. Where are the villagers going?
To see Grandma and Grandpapa up in the heavenly skies. They are dead. And Puppypaw is discovering that it might be a little bit difficult to end this with a landmark victory.
Yeah, it's not happening. The hand cannons are going all the way around, but this landmark, it's remaining on one side and one side only. Doesn't have the rams to protect. Villagers getting put. Nah, it's over.
It has to be
There's
over.
No way.
Just line them up for the Springles, please. Oh.
Yeah, there they go. GG comes in. Anotand now with a 2-0 lead.
And let that be a lesson to everyone. Do not build attack units. I mean, they look good.
They were really bad until they suddenly weren't bad.
Yeah.
Then they suddenly became really good.
Yeah, the game was completely, not even a scrambled egg. It was burnt to a crisp at that point for Puppypaw. I mean, the fact this game went on for 40 minutes has me scratching my bloody head. I think a lot of people's jaws might be dropping this, though. Not that Anotand is not capable of great things, but considering Puppypaw, just a few months back, was seen as like the number 2 in the scene. To find yourself in this situation now, where Anotand may 3-0 wipe him, is insane.
Definitely is. But there are still chances here. It could be coming in. We're looking at the replay. I mean, Puppypaw, this was not an easy game for Anotand to close out by any means here. There are still chances for Puppypaw to come back in this one. It's not over yet. Anotand, he has one game that he needs to win. Now on match point.
We've got
Puppypaw's not going to make it easy for him.
Yeah, we've got maps that, for the most, are a bit more orderly. We've got Dry Arabia, Cliffside still to come, but there's also still Kalauga. Now, that's where things get a little bit interesting. Puppypaw does have Mongols there. Vano? I mean, it's like, what, Ayu, Delhi, English, French? So I'm wondering if, considering Puppypaw is willing to do this with game number 2, if he just takes the punt on the less orderly maps again, and goes to Kalauga. The other option for him would be to lean to the HRE. We've got to remember he still does have that. And considering most of the options Anotand has, HRE should almost feel like a almost free win, I want to say, for almost every matchup that could be. But I mean, this has to be a little bit draining, man. Like Anotand has leveled up. You have to remember earliest month he wasn't feeling too well, so there's kind of like a questionable element of like how good he was going to be looking going to this tournament. Boys looking firm, back on the practice, and a hot contender to make that upper bracket finals.
Yeah, 100%. Looking good so far. It'll be interesting to see the draft now for next game. I think that maybe you just put HRE next. Just like, obviously you're on match point. You got to win the next games. So if not now, got to use your best civilizations.
Yeah, and that means he's definitely starting the HRE. Outside that, he's got, what, Malians, Mongols, Order of the Dragon. In fairness, if there's someone who can convince you that Order of the Dragons is a decent civ right now, it's probably the Canadians. I think they've been looking most firm with that civ.
Yeah.
But it still needs the right matchup to justify.
Does the right map as well. There are certain maps where OT just isn't quite as good, but it's got to be Kalauga immediately next up. We're going to see English on Kalauga up against the Mongols.
This was kind of my worry as I was looking, thinking, oh, man, you probably go Kalauga and Mongols, because Mongols has been one of the goated civs here. But Anotand, he was just squaring it away. If this was Ibids, this is the type of map where Mongols can make Ibids look uncomfortable. French, you can make French look uncomfortable. You know, Delhi, I don't think there's crazy value for Delhi here. But English are that civ that you can't outburst rush. English are that civ that can cheaply go into the ponds themselves. And that even the Civ that can set the aggro point, because on this map, the idea that your resources are exposed goes both ways.
I'm wondering which landmark you would go for here, if it's going to be like a Council Hall English.
In Council Hall,
Yeah, I think overall Mongols isn't that bad on a little bit of a stretched out map, because the middle area between the two players definitely can feel a little bit stretchy. And double production archer means that early on you should be in a great spot to be able, like, the thing is, chances are you're not going to spearman rush English.
No. You could.
You could.
There are many things you could do in life.
Not in a 2-0 situation where it's match point for your opponent, but there is the reasoning behind it is that you're going to be saving up a lot of stone from your Uvu that you're not putting into the spearman. So instead, as soon as the H-up comes through, you're going to be able to double produce a lot of archers. And English, they're not able to immediately like full-on blast archers out of the council hall. Like there's going to be a little bit of downtime with the income.
I mean, there's theoretically a horseman opening that could be cool here, because the gold starts forward and exposed, and the tree lines are a little bit further away, right? So you're not exactly guaranteed that the TC will protect you. And if there's anything that English villagers hate, it's horsemen, right? Because you have one less base damage than shivs, and it's range damage. So even Dark Age horsemen do fairly well.
Dark Age horsemen, they get only 1 pierce armor, not 2, so they're going to still take like 4 damage with each hit. They have a little bit less HP as well. But overall, still going to be in a great position to harass early on the goal. The question is what the plan is going to be here in the end. It's only going to be a couple more seconds until we're diving into our game number 3. Potential match point now for Anotand. So Puppypaw in a matchup with Mongols up against the English on Kalagar. He's going to have to give it his A game. And we're jumping right into it, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3, we got Puppypaw. Red playing as the Mongols, and Anotand already busy luring in those deer with the English. Playing in the color yellow.
Scary situation here, you know, going to this tournament, big hypes for NA, the expectations being 1, if not 2 people on the podium, but they found themselves pipped at the post already. Wham eliminated, and Puppypaw now very much at risk of being stuck in that lower bracket quite early when there's a lot of scary players down there. If he wants to make it work, his journey requires perfection. It requires perfect execution here with the Mongols. Admittedly, we've been seeing a lot of Mongol dubs on this map, Crackety, and a lot of it has come off the back of Magadai. Unfortunately, of all the civs in the game that you could build Magadai against, this possibly is the worst one.
Yeah. The English definitely looking good here when it comes to being able to counter out those Magadai with the bonus armor on the Men-at-Arms in Castle Age. And in Feudal Age, just having longbows with +2 range means that you're going to be able to take them down from afar.
You see what I'm talking about with the gold, right? Like, it always spawns kind of forward and exposed. In fact, that's a very big problem in this map for Puppypaw, is if he wants to do anything greedy or Keshik-oriented, you look at his spawn, he's actually sacrificed being anywhere near the gold to get right in that tree line. And it is going to be the stables opening with Fury Crafting here. Really good against the English villagers on their own. And Anotand may have made a mistake. He kind of took the bait, because obviously you're not expecting a Rax Rush opening as English. He chose to be greedy and go for his opening dock.
Yeah, so it looks like we are seeing some horsemen come in. First one even produced before before he has enough stone for double production, so no double production coming in. Looks like the villager is actually running back in time. I think Puppypaw just wanted to harass a little bit. He didn't want to force the villager back, but inadvertently does mean that that villager is going to live before the horseman arrives.
Yeah, I mean, the question now is whether you can actually burn down the dock in time, right? Like, if it's spears, no doubt about it, but horsemen, much more pricey, right? An extra 40 resources, that's a 50% increase in cost. That's going to slow your timing down. And admittedly, you know, if Anotand just knee-jerk reacts by rushing feudal now, not building too many fishing boats, he'll be in a pretty firm position here.
Yeah. I like that Puppypaw isn't scouting the map more than he needs to. He is keeping that calm out there on the gold, meaning that one villager already going to be a little bit weak. Oh, looks like that gold mine is actually still in range of that main TC. So it's going to be tough for the horseman to like get the kills there, get the pickoffs.
I know, he actually pulls the villagers with the short bows, so he's trying to deal with this before it snowballs
so
and get all
many.
the gold needed.
And
he's
the
not
TC
even
still
attacking.
Yeah, the TC's still hitting. He's just gathering the gold, right? Like, that's all he needs. Like, this many villagers, like, what's his opponent gonna do?
I mean, if you one-hit volley, though, you just kill the horseman straight away, right? At this stage,
You would,
should be
yeah.
low enough. But no interest, so instead, I know we talked about the idea of rushing the age. It's exactly what he goes for, so it should be likely going to be Council Hall coming out here. For Puppypaw, yes, it's bad that he had the Khan here instead of gathering the extra sheep, but the interesting thing with Kalagra is the sheep spawns are quite tight and there's not many of them. And on top of that, with the TC placement, he did already secure the deer, so should have plenty of food to get him through the Dark Age.
Yeah. And looks like Puppypaw is still going to get a little bit of an earlier age up in compared to his opponent. Mainly due to the investment of Anotand into the water. So it kind of like evens itself out, and if Anotand's able to deny the dock here, it's going to be in a fine position.
Yeah, makes sense, right? With the stables opening, it kind of keeps you away from the council hall. We'll get a little bit of burn damage on the fishing boats, but realistically, as long as Anotand's paying attention, none of these should be dying.
He's out repairing it.
He's like, wait, why would I idle multiple ships when I can just idle one while the others work?
Oh, he gets it in as well. Into the dock.
Okay, so for Anno, I'm wondering which way he wants to go here. There was a classic aggressive 1TC build with Abbey Kings where you'd mass horsemen. Probably don't want to be doing it here because your opponent could go to Keshik, right? So
He's just out repairing them.
can you guys please just find something else to do with your time?
Why does it barely cost wood at all? It doesn't even cost a lot of wood.
Because like that fishing boat is standing there, goes, here, bro, take some of my planks, and just like rips them off and gives it to him.
Oh my god, this must be so tilting right now. Can't believe.
I mean, it takes so long to even attempt to kill one of these. You've actually got enough time to just all chat type to your opponent. How's this going for you?
Yeah, it's not going well. It's not going well right now.
You know what I'd be typing right now? I'd be like, maybe if you build more horsemen, question mark?
Oh, this is an awkward spot right now to be in as Puppypaw. Where are you even gonna go from here? Are you just gonna go for your own farm, not farm, but like dock now as well on your side? Try and get some fishing going yourself?
It's gonna be so late, right? Like you're gonna have to set up archers first. You have to anticipate what's gonna be coming here. We can already see the spin being produced. I know this is a pretty strong 1-1-1 play now, right? Archers, spears, and horsemen.
Could be. Could also just see him go for the king and just only spearmen. Oh, we're getting a kill!
He done it!
Amazing!
He's invincible! Oh, wait, they've got spears.
At least he caused a lot of idle time on the ships, right? So the horsemen weren't completely worthless. They also screwed a little bit with Anotand's balance early on. And now we did get a dock up from Puppypaw.
Yeah, but this looks pretty bad, right? Like Puppypaw, instead of adding a new unit type in, he's now being countered by spears, and he's producing an extra thing that gets countered by spears.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit tricky. It's also weird that Puppypaw's going for like the dock play while going like the calf here, right? Because it's definitely putting a lot more food burden on him. But it means his next transition is going to be slower, right? So Anno has an opportunity to get a step ahead here. I mean, he might even contemplate just going out for a dock drop on the west side as well. We have to remember that for English, their boats are cheaper, so they can actually out-aggro you on water.
Yeah, and we are getting that archer range in as well now. Legally coming through as well. Shouldn't be in... Yeah, it can't do anything against those villagers out on the gold. But how many villagers are there? Is that 6 villagers? That is 6 villagers, so one is going to go down.
All right, draw straws. Who's going to die here? You are the...
Oh, you can run. Maybe you can run. You can run. Oh,
wait, the wolf as well? Come on.
Ooh.
We better get him in. The king should be able to get away.
And
Anotand being a little bit careless there, but we'll get our range.
No, he goes down! Value? Oh, he lost the horseman, though. Okay, Trade offer. Speaking of trading.
It's a fair, it's probably the best trade offer this Canadian's going to get. A pretty valuable one as well when you think about it, right? 360 resources for 200. But in fairness, like, you have to ask the question, does Puppypaw actually want those?
He's not done trading yet. He wants
more. He's going off the villagers. He just wants the kills. That one spear. Wait, he switched targets!
We've got 2 villager kills off there.
What is going on here? I know was mismicroing, right? Like he switched targets after Puppypaw pulled away, didn't retarget onto the injured Keshik. It just happened again there. That should be at least 1 Keshik down. Instead, Puppypaw getting 3 worker kills. Make it 4, and no signs of Anotand being able to counter contest.
Ooh, Keshik. Sleep at the steering wheel.
Finally get some value, but here's the crazy thing. I mentioned Mag and I have been dominating this map.
We're getting them in.
Look at Puppypaw's transition here. I can't believe it. Against English of all civs.
They're coming through. Khan's Hunter's in there as well. Something that's actually really interesting about the Khan's Hunters, something to always keep in mind, is they actually get the ability with the Falcon So you can just
Yes.
have the Khan's Hunter as well. You don't need your Khan in order to get the Khan's Falcon out onto the woodline, so you're always going to be able to spot out the villagers.
The problem is, Anotand, if you check his vision, he's not looking, right? I mean, he should be suspicious about this amount of gold, but maybe that's the secret genius of Puppypaw's choice to stick on Keshik, is like to Anotand, oh, it makes sense why he's on gold. He's building heavy cav.
And another 2 villagers go down. Puppypaw is suddenly ahead in the economy department.
This is getting ridiculous. I know has at least got horsemen coming. But you think that would be the counter to Magadai. Anyway, they're weird. Let me put it that way. Especially when your opponent's defending the Yam. You don't feel like you're a counter.
Yeah. A little bit of a tough situation to be in there now. And still a lot of spearmen, a lot of horsemen coming out. But with the Yam aura, as you mentioned, like the Mangadai, they're just going to be able to kite all day long.
Yeah. Even against the horsemen, it's going to be very difficult for them to actually stick to a target long enough to kill. Another awkward problem here is like Anotand, some of the Puppypaw could do to catch him off guard is getting the blacksmiths ready and going Steeled Arrow, right? And then you can shred. Archer ship in the meantime, it's going to look to trade out here. A little bit of poke damage coming in, but this is a dive underneath the dock. The healing will win out. Anno has still got the land forces. But the fishing, I think he can just repair this.
Yeah, you can out repair that. And now the Mangadai reveals...
Oh boy. So this is sadness. I mean, luckily you're not dying quickly due to the undermesh, but you're also not doing anything. Oh, sorry, not undermesh. You know, the natural armor of the horseman.
Yeah, but the spearmen are going to get sacrificed now. And that means, guess what? What's back on the menu? It's going to be the Keshiks.
I think the thought process from Puppypaw here is surely has to take the bait. He has to address with longbows now. That's going to leave him weaker on the front line.
Ooh, that's a horseman. Was a horseman.
Yeah, the king is back in action, but really you want to be peeling the horseman to hunt with him, right? The tricky part now is if you go raiding, the Magadai can mirror, but actually exceed you with this attack speed.
Yeah. The archer ships have no armor, so maybe in spread formation that could be a ship that Puppypaw could take down. There's, like, the Mangadai have an insane, absurd amount of attack speed as well.
Yeah, they don't have the Khan here to buff it further, but still. It's pretty good by default. So, we do have the blacksmiths, undermesh down the way. Anotand isn't panicking. This is actually the correct way to go. It doesn't mean you can contest the fight now, but down the line you're going to be good for it. Check this rotation. Archer ship's coming in, but he's also got the horseman shadowing, looking to pin him in the corner.
Keshik's out there as well. Looks like we might be getting a little ring around the rosy here.
The other way.
Wait,
I mean, he's
running
towards
to the shoreline. Yeah, you don't want to go to the shoreline. It's the one spot you don't want to be.
We got him!
Oh! That's a lot of damage coming in.
Took a while. Took a lot of effort, but these very pricey cav units just got hit.
Yeah, they're gone. They don't exist anymore. Looks like all the shoreline fish is already gone on that side, though. That Anton has been on.
He could end up losing the archer ship. I mean, horsemen are quite quick. A little bit of rubbing up going here. They're arguing. I get the fish. I get that. No. Boys, just move out. There's another dot coming in the center of the map.
Little raid potential. Short bows are getting pulled. They want to know who's boss.
Keshik is going to dive underneath the TC. I mean, as long as you kill the correct villagers, you shouldn't lose any. Unfortunately, a bit of a mismicro with Anotand. Wasn't pulling them back. He was too fixated on trying to actually kill the Magadai. Army is reacting home now. I mean, it's crazy that for all the effort Puppypaw put in, all the kills he's got, the eco is still neck and neck.
Very much so.
Look at this. Puppypaw. He's bypassing his castle age.
Stab Redoubt with a lot of villagers, and that is actually really strong because, what does Stab Redoubt do? 50% bonus drop of gold. With that, you can rebalance your economy. You can just buy resources for a pretty effective price.
I wonder, you know, is there a potential men-at-arms play in Puppypaw's mind here?
I wouldn't recommend it, honestly.
It feels
I guess with the forward Yamara, maybe.
It's tricky because double arrow TC fire, but at the same time, yeah, like your opponent has horseman spears. He's stuck in H2, right? Men at arms is the cost-efficient way to surge forward here. And if we're being real, Puppypaw has a very limited runway. I mean, look at his food right now.
It's non-existent, at least not really.
No, it's a repeat of game one.
Yeah, fishing ships should be able to. Oh my god, the villagers are being idled out now. Outpost looks to be going down.
They might be idled a bit more permanently in a second there. Doesn't really feel like these horsemen are dying quick enough. They are going to try to pull away. Yam should allow them to mostly get out unscathed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now you have no gold, no food, with step readout. What is Castle Age achieved?
Yeah, and Anotand only needs like a minute to be able to catch up to Castle Age. And if he goes Castle Age, chances are it's going to be with a king.
What's this doing here?
It's going to get taken down at frontside, but he's going to go up with another TC landmark.
But the men-at-arms play, Krakeny. The men-at-arms play. They're looking pretty armless, actually. There's no Yam here because the outpost went down. There's no troops on the front side to use the Yam at all. You're right. Anotand just has a free ticket now to go to TC.
Yeah, and I mean, the horsemen as well. Like, they can always just pick off the men-at-arms. And with the healing that you get from the King's Abbey, right? Like, you can just always heal them back up. And there it is. King's Palace is going to be coming in.
This is insane. Like, I want to reiterate just how bad Anotand's position was in this game, what, like 6 minutes ago? It looked like Puppypaw was just in the driving seat. It's crazy the way he's unraveled this mess.
King's Palace is going to be coming in backline as well. So very safe second TC coming in for him. Han is going to be able to take down that horseman. Courtesy of that bonus damage that he got from the age up.
The crazy part as well is Puppypaw is now going into crossbows, so horseman comp could keep value for Anotand potentially. I mean, likely we'll just see him switch into men-at-arms and his own crossbows, right? Like, this could turn to a battle of the auras, and, well, Puppypaw's aura is just going to feel pretty discounted compared to what the English have.
Yeah. Units now coming in. Fishing ship, or at least the arch ship, should be able to spot out the units coming in here, so should buy Puppypaw some time to react. Crossbows are going to be coming in.
And ignored. Completely ignored. He knows what he wants, what he really, really wants. The villagers.
He's going to get it.
Out of time achieved, 1 kill as well. Kept everything on Puppypaw's side of the map. Anotand, Wano is rising here. He only has 1 farm cluster, but we're reaching that stage of the game. We can easily just jump into the second and third and keep an infinite pump going.
Listen to this, though. Fast Imperial Kaganet now.
With what food?
You just buy it. You get the money. Granted, the gold one is about to run out, but just imagine.
Oh, got it. So, yeah, well, I think it might have to stay in your imagination in this one, Krakeny.
But imagine what you could do with that.
Right? Like, you know, Krakeny, do you want to invest in my game development studio?
Is it based on gambling?
Yeah, there's like I was basically making an RTS where every choice is gambling from Ibis.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, imagine the things we can do. I just need 2 million.
Imagine Puppypaw high rolling though, with the Kaganet suddenly getting like 6 consecutive rows of either like Ruse Knights or Elite Palace Guards.
I mean, the
with the bonus HP as well in the Palace Guards.
So I'm just figuring this out, right? If we want to go the gamble route, we really could, because if he goes Kaganet and that works out, and he wins this game, the next game, Anotand can go Iabids and go the real gambling, right?
Ooh.
And then, like, for, you know, a game of 5 potentially, you have Order of the Dragon, which just feels like a gamble to pick in general, right?
Anotand, he's still investing more and more into the Horseman Spearman composition. Now some Knights being added into the mix as well. We do have some Spearmen in for Puppypaw as well. I feel like if Anotand doesn't add in like longbows or anything among that line as well, like the next fight could be pretty bad for him.
But we have the king. We don't need longbows anymore.
Surely.
It's kind of what your brain does when you do Abbey of Kings, to be honest. Like, Abbey of Kings into King's Pass. It's like, what is archery ranges? We do have them now, though. There we go. So
we're there. Yeah, longbows coming in.
Also play for relics. One that isn't being mirrored right now by Puppypaw.
Yeah, don't have a move out to it yet. Granted, Separate Out does kind of make you hallucinate that you have much more gold than you actually do.
He'll never run. Oh, it ran out.
Look at how much gold incoming. Oh, no, it ran out.
Look at what this... You can't see it right now because it's on the very edge of the map. The step readout is shuffling all the way to the western corner. It actually might get ran into by the cavalry. He's diving in. I mean, if he goes straight after the workers, this is perfect value.
There's no Yaml right here. The units are so slow from Puppypaw. There's no Yammer at all. No outpost
There's no
there.
wheelbarrow.
No
There's
wheelbarrow as
nothing.
well. They're so slow.
And now you'd be like, okay, why are these villagers out here? I mean, Puppypaw try to be creative about it. Like, oh, yeah, we're just berry gatherers. There's nothing weird happening in the corner. Unfortunately for him, the demo is... Oh, does anybody look? No, he doesn't terminate it.
Oh, not in time, at least. As more villagers potentially going down as he was moving out to the deer up top to the north.
Can you just die already? This is brutal to watch. Puppypaw. It feels like there's no play for him to make here. Anotand has full rotational power, and as we know, Mongols is the most abhorrent civ at playing defensive. Even more when you have 0 Yam aura coverage.
Yeah, it's just you don't even have the it's not just bad enough that you don't have the aura. You also don't have the vision. You're always gonna be on the delay when it comes to reacting to the cavalry from Anotand. He's got so much food per minute here. For a while, he's been doubling the food income, so the military is just gonna pull ahead, and economy-wise, already an 18 villager lead now.
Scary situation, Puppypaw. You have to feel that he has to do something in the next 3, maybe 4 minutes maximum, or with curtains anyway. At that stage, Anna would have enough farms to contemplate Imperial Age. Meanwhile, looking like you might be able to find some more damage. Definitely been fishing for it. Chooses to just keep the troops alive, but you know what? That's a very calculated thought, and the calculator is actually broken. So it does get mopped up. Nice surround there by Puppypaw. That's only wave number 1. Still plenty more to come.
Yeah, a lot more rounds remaining in this Horde Simulator. There's a lot of villagers on gold right now for Anotand. What's he planning here? Is he trying to just save up for Imperial Age now?
At this point, Puppypaw's the one that has to make a move, right? I mean, you could argue with that logic, just continuously rotating horsemen is very valuable because it means Puppypaw won't be able to defend himself at home. We do have him bulking for the main fight, right? Like crossbows, longbows, this is the bread and butter of winning these type of castle age engagements.
Yeah, the next fight, it's going to be a brutal one. 12 longbows are also going to be enough to pretty much one-shot the spearmen that Puppypaw has. So he doesn't even need to invest much more into them. Has enough to have critical mass. With good enough micro, his army is completely going to demolish what Puppypaw has.
What's upsides for Puppypaw here? You know, it's not like you went Kurotai, it's not like you've got the Yam or anywhere. With Anotand, he'll probably take a methodical approach, just slowly crawl across with outpost placements, right? So you get that aura, and then hit the enemy base. And yeah, we can already see the additional outposts coming in.
Yeah, and we're also going to see the desperation play now from Puppypaw. Triple mangonels coming in, and he sees it. The scout even puts down the campfire to boost up his line of sight. He knows what's coming his way now. Triple mangonels.
You want to toast some marshmallows? Oh, no, okay.
I see you.
Okay, I may be dead, but they went mangoes. Get ready, boys. So we've got more horsemen coming. A lot of gold being rushed here. Anotand, too much gold.
Another one.
We don't need this much gold. It's like, just in case, he might camp here for a bit. Anno's dancing right now. He's gonna be able to dodge away.
The mangonels don't have the homing shots that they used to.
No.
And outpost ward as well, so he's gonna get the Yam.
Yep, he just now has to remove all these outposts in the TC, so his opponent doesn't have his aura.
Oh, the horsemen are splitting up.
Yeah, because why directly engage this? It kind of reeks of desperation, doesn't it?
Definitely does.
And the Quadramango is a little bit threatening. In theory, there's a raid onto the economy and then a full backstab that could occur here. He's definitely got enough time.
He's going for it. We see the horsemen going for the long route here. I'm not sure if this has been spotted out, but Puppypaw, he's pulling some villagers away. Yeah, he's pulling all of them away.
Yeah, the outpost.
Yeah, he does have the
He's going straight off the step readout. Villagers are going to be able to shuffle out there. Now, this would be the time to go. If Puppypaw wants to make something happen, he needs to go in now. Because if you walk home, you know what this is. It will be Imperial Age English.
Arms coming in. More mangonels. Grant, imagine if these were just Ayubit Mandraniques right now.
Right. All farms gone. All villages gone. Everything gone.
All TC gone. Buildings gone.
Instead, stuck with these turds for a siege weapon in the Castle Age. Mango's just going to hit onto the TC. I know, he's actually coming home. He left a small group of horsemen to raid into the enemy base, but the rest are on their way to defend their homeland.
It's going to be a brutal fight in a little bit.
Tricky
It's
part.
32 horsemen.
Yeah, and Anotand, I mean, he's housed right now, right? He's pretty much at pop, though, so in general, what he needs to do now is start trading. Get him with a few troopers here, so that's at least going to be a trade of types. Not a great value one. Dive is coming in. He's looking to get rid of that primary TC, which might remove the attack speed or entirely, actually. There's no outpost nearby.
Yeah, nothing nearby at all. And granted, the King's Palace in the back, but you'd have to go far. Oh my god, how many villagers died there?
Puppypaw, no! I mean, in fairness, right, this is the go. Did you really expect to get many more troops here? But admittedly, I think what he wanted was many more mangoes. That's the gold gathering block, though. The step readout is down in the corner. But now, once again, with no yam and only wheelbarrow, those villagers have to run a marathon to the left side corner.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. This is do or die now. Afraid it might be die.
Anotand's definitely have to brute force it, and keep in mind he doesn't have much food income right now. 500 a minute is not impressive here. Horsemen, they can melt quick.
Step it out again.
The yam, there's so many outposts to give that aura. Horsemen unable to get in, so just throwing them away. And we have Anotand going, wow, mangoes do look pretty good. He's switching into them himself here.
This might be a little bit late, though. Keep protecting the wood line, but there's still that one crucial victory condition, as there was last time.
This is tricky, man. The problem now for Anotand is he keeps trying to scurry with these horsemen, but he's basically relying on ignorance. He hasn't got anything engaging on the front side of the fight, right? He hasn't got any baited attention. He looks like he's trying to drag enough time to get more farms up. In fact, he's rushed the east side of the map in desperation to get farms up here.
Oh, this could be dangerous. Is there a way back? We're getting even more mega. That's number 7. Can we get number 8?
So many outposts as well, which makes it hard for horsemen to ride in general. Gives the vision, gives spring replacements now as well. Pinches him against the
These
remains
trades are so
of the
expensive. These trades are so expensive for Anotand now. He can't really afford remassing those horseman numbers. Has Puppypaw done it?
It's not over yet. He still needs to reach the King's Pass and end it. And
Everything gets pulled! Everything gets pulled! No!
Select all. Surely not. The horsemen are going to ride in from multiple angles here. The villagers might actually be able to reach the mangoes. But the lombos are being targeted right now. He needs to clean this up. 2 mangoes down. 4 to go.
Good old shots!
I think the villagers are doing it. The villagers are carrying him through. Anotand. He's wiping the siege. But can he now clean up? He's got no army left.
There's nothing left. And Puppypaw, he can buy wood. Puppypaw can buy wood. He's got the market. Get rams in. Go for a landmark snipe. He's still got over 40 spearmen.
He sees it. He just spotted it.
Like,
okay,
left.
In we go.
We're getting it. No way.
Lombo's being
He's
queued
going
up.
for it.
I don't know if this works though, because remember he's still got. Okay, there's the second wave.
There they are.
I don't think this is enough spearmen to kill it though.
How many villagers are inside the TC?
I mean, you should have a garrison force full, right?
Should be
Yeah,
10.
9 out of 10.
9.
That's good enough. The Lombos are trickling in and it's wiping out the aggro force of Puppypaw. He loses all the mangoes. He's going to lose all the crossbows. Spearmen are going to be contested by the Lombos and just killed outright.
He's got
nothing left in the bush.
The spearman gun.
What do you do now?
Got
like, Puppypaw, I mean, he's shrunk the eco lead, right? But it's still 5 relics, a 20 economy lead. Farm set up on the east side. And now a counterattack opportunity for Anotand, right? Men-at-Arms and Lombos can beat back everything Puppypaw has remaining. Unbelievable.
100%. My God. This game is just going back and forth right now. Multiple times. The Mangan, I feel like if Puppypaw just maybe kept running back and back and back, at least run through the crossbows, maybe there was like a really big chance. It looked so good. It looked so unbelievably good, but Anotand, with the crazy villager pull, able to just about pull enough in order to get him out of the stickiest situation that I've seen within the last 2 weeks.
I tell you, it's like watching a table tennis rally between champions, right? So much back and forth, your neck might get whiplash, but it looks like Puppypaw is about to get whipped. Anotand, now still with a healthy eco lead, is starting to flood out Men-at-Arms. He's starting to find those pocketed resources in the more dangerous areas of the map. Now, there is a counter raid opportunity on the east side, so Puppypaw might find all those farms that Anno set up there, but at this stage, He could just pull these villagers back to the safety of the starting base now that he's recovered his own home.
One thing. Bounty. If Puppypaw just gets all the farms down, right? He's gonna have enough bounty to mass up a similar sized army. Great. That doesn't look like it's gonna be happening, but
I spend 37 wood, you get paid 50. Cost is time. Try and math that one out to see who comes out better. This game has been insanely scrappy.
even getting military ships now in from Anotand again.
Interesting choice. The food is limited, right? But then again, Springles, that does reach into your food pocket as well. Most getting ordered out. So Puppypaw can't really afford gaps in the economy anyway right now while he keeps remassing. Lombo's a really big threat here.
Amount of them, yeah. Grant, with the Yam aura, you're going to be able to catch up to them, but the Yam aura doesn't extend an infinite amount.
No. And kind of at the limits of what he can reach right now. Like, Anno really hates those fish. But have you guys tried fishing with rocks?
It's really good.
Yeah. It's like you squish them into fish base. It's very efficient on timing.
Yeah. Not only do you get the fish, you also get
the paste.
You know, the production immediately. Yeah.
Yeah. Like having someone already pre-chew your food.
Pre-pasteurized fish.
If the deer comes a little bit closer, you're going to have deer covered in fish paste. Delicious.
Hampton, I mean, the food income, he's doubling what Puppypaw has right now. Triple mangonel away. Okay, let's go again. Let's do this again. Let's do it one more time.
He's like, it almost works.
What if it almost works again?
This is like one of those rock bands that had that really good one album, but then it ended with like crippling cocaine addiction. And now they get back together, like they're talking about the good times. Like, what if we just done it again? They completely forget how it ended. Just one more track, you know? One more live.
Remember the last time I was in a really good spot? What if we just do that again?
Yeah, you know, like I was doing really good, and then I saw this giant bear, and then I attacked it, and it's killed me. I feel like, you know, the bear's probably tired now. There's no way he has, like, infinite food.
Bears don't have that much stamina.
Huh.
Trust me, I'm a bear expert. Bears
they spend how many months of the year sleeping?
Battlestar Galactica, yeah. Anotand, he's repaired one of his landmarks, though. The main TC looks like it has been repaired. Another one. Ooh, he's gonna need it.
Hello. Lombo's coming in here. The mangoes aren't forward enough yet.
Gotta be careful.
The numbers are a bit scary here. Anotand going back into Horseman. He's looking to blob fast.
Yeah, and a lot of them as well. 15 out already. Almost 10 more in queue. Still.
Yeah, they've been using some sort of pheromone on the stables right there. There's a lot of horses being produced.
Yeah.
And now Puppypaw, if we check his vision, is kind of important, right? He doesn't have the outpost auras anymore. He doesn't see as much as he did last time.
Yeah, he doesn't have the outpost forward, so he doesn't have the Yamar as well with him. Maneuverability, definitely an important topic. Anotand even went out for the fish there.
Are you kidding me? You repaired that?
Already?
Yes. Really?
What's the RI on that?
That's 50 bounty again, baby. Let me just take down that 7k HP structure. Horseman riding in. Now, last time it was Spearman, right? The Horseman couldn't commit, but this time,
there's no
so
Spearman.
Simple.
There's nothing left. All the investment, all the mangonels going down again.
This is it. It's the end of the road. Puppypaw will not go deeper in the upper bracket. He's got to duke it out in eliminations. Anotand is in the upper bracket finals.
With a 3-0 victory up against Puppypaw, not something that I, or pretty much anyone probably expected at this point, right?
No, I would have expected a tight series. I mean, the crazy thing, the absolute crazy thing is that he got a 3-0 over a guy who was considered to be a king, right? Puppypaw was on the verge of being crowned, right? Like when you think about it, he's the person, you know, we looked at his performance against Marine Lord on LAN, and a lot of people say, you know, it wasn't the Puppypaw we're expecting. A lot of people coming in 2025 are like, this is the guy who's going to be taking titles. And although he's not eliminated, this is a really big foot in the arse to wake up. Anotand is looking to make this year his year. And he is off to an amazing start. He managed to get a 3-2 over Louis that would have probably put some questions into how he's going to execute. But then to come in and get, admittedly not the cleanest 3-0 victory because it was back and forth, but to get a 3-0 over Puppypaw, absolutely incredible.
Man, indeed, in these games, they were incredibly well played by him as well, Puppypaw. I mean, he had the chance, right? In his last game, there was this really golden opportunity. Oh, absolutely insane how this game went. Puppypaw looked like a rocky beginning, then able to just kill so many villagers, so many villager pickoffs time and time again to get him back into a game where it looked like he started on a pretty devastating disadvantage. Anotand, though, able to bide his time and made the correct choice with pulling like 20 villagers, was it?
It was such a clutch call, right? The textiles just made the difference, because that's the thing. The spears just wipe out horsemen well, right? But spears have low base damage. That was the reality check there. And also, because it's crossbows are going to end up usually targeting the same villager, overkilling. Like, just a sick read by Anotand to flip a game that looked like it had been thrown away and turn it into a winning play. Incredible. And, you know, now questions have to be asked. We're thinking, NA, could this be their year? Now you've got a situation where one player from NA has already been eliminated in the lower bracket, and now another one is left fighting for his life down there as well, with some heavy hitters such as Vortex and Louis waiting with eager arms to receive.
Oh man, once again, we see that crucial fight. The Mangonels just not being able to go all the way back. Maybe if he, when the villagers were coming forward, shot the villagers once, that could have been an insane pick-off there as well. The follow-up just wasn't possible here.
And I think we are going to be having the legend himself on the line shortly for an interview to pick his brain and his thoughts, because I imagine Anotand, I don't know if I want to say, is this like an all-time high, right? Like, is this his best performance? We must be on the verge of it. He hasn't been in the grand finals of an S tier before. He might have had one semi-finals. I'm not sure he has. I think this is his best performance ever.
I think so too. Yeah.
You know what? We can talk to him himself about it. We can pick his brain, because I think we have got Anotand on the line to talk to. There he is, Anotand. First of all, congratulations. Yeah, that little eyebrow shuffle is the shuffle of a confident man. My friend, we've got to talk about this. A 3-0 victory over Puppypaw. Puppypaw, who I think you'd agree, it's fair to say he was seen as like the next prince in AoE4, the rising star. How are you feeling after a set like this? You must be over the moon.
Yeah, I mean, I still cannot believe that I at top 3 of the tournament. Like, my best performance was top 12 for every S tier tournament. Like, I was never make it to playoffs. And now I'm top 3. It's just unbelievable. I still... Yeah, cannot believe.
I was just going to say it's incredible, right? Because I think there's maybe some inspiration to be had that the last tournament, the team tournament, you came second, right? I'm sure it felt bittersweet to be that close but still be denied. But at the same time, although that was an S tier tournament as well, like, being in the top 3 in a 1v1 is a whole other level. That's what you dream of as an Age of Empires 4 pro.
Yeah, I still cannot believe. The reason is, I mean, there is a possibility that I would skip this tournament, because there was ladder race and I couldn't play quals because of my health. And like, I was at hospital and watching demo stream, and he lost one game in ladder, and that's how I qualified for tournament. If he didn't lost one game in ladder, I wouldn't be in this tournament, like, at all. I didn't like, wow, yeah, I cannot believe.
Talk to me how you're feeling now, right? Like, are you back on? I mean, you look back on form, but health-wise, are you feeling in good shape now?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm like, in my previous tournaments at Red Bull, at Master of Realms, I was always super shaky. I was like, okay, I need to make it into top 8. Okay, I have expectation, I have good ATR, I need to make it to top 10, top 8. And I always was kinda not on point. Now I'm just playing, like, I don't know what, but it feels like everyone playing so shaky versus me, everyone afraid of me. Louis afraid of me, he don't wanna attack me. Puppy, look, he played well, but also, yeah, it was super chaotic games. Like, yesterday I rewatched Marilord's stream, and Puppy wrote in chat, like, what the hell, how, like, Louis and Anotand playing so, like, nervous, why it's so chaotic. And now, like, same position, like, again, we forgetting about our practice, we just fighting like Raiden and just didn't face each other in the game.
Do you
Yeah.
think
And I-
part
and
of
I
it
like it.
is because you didn't think you were going to be playing this? That I mean, it's kind of weird because you're here now as like take it seriously, but in your mind, it's like this wasn't meant to happen. With your health being what it was, you weren't expected to be here. So you almost
Yeah,
your
I mean,
mentality
I
was
just don't
come
care.
play.
I'm having fun. I wanna make only nice with Rus, okay. I wanna make nice with French, okay. Like, with versus Puppy, I tried a bit more serious because, like, we played few practice games and I like understand his draft. I think I caught him on draft a bit. Yeah, and like he must to throw away his Sith like Abba. It was bad pick versus China, and after that, it was kind of hard for him to come back.
I like the way you approach that as well. Like basically choosing to essentially do a delayed pro scouts because he was clearly expecting it, right? Like China are king of pro scouting. You pretty much, it felt like you used his expectations in this series against him to find very creative solutions. Is that how you feel throughout? Like game 1, 2, and 3, each time you knew what he was expecting you to do, and you just kind of done the opposite.
I mean, I just knew what he'll pick, and like I practiced. I know that he rates Mongols very high. He loves Mongol dice. I know that Japanese second pick only for moving out. But for me, feels like moving out is like chaotic map, not about Sith but about babooning. So yeah, I was a bit lucky
Hey,
with my baboon stuff.
We enjoyed the monkey expedition there, though, my friend. You delivered an entertaining series. It's not often a 3-0 can be that incredible to watch, but you definitely delivered on the entertainment, and you should be proud of yourself. I reckon what we'll do now, we'll let you go chill out because you've earned it. Congratulations on a new best performance in 1v1s and AV4. Hopefully the first of many.
Okay, thank you a lot.